this is a strange day 39, at least in the Senate, and that there's very little controversy that we're aware of. We have 51 bills on the floor, and I don't really, at this point, see any major roadblocks. You know, we can get out of here by dinner time, which would be wonderful. I know the House is going to probably take up a couple of major issues today in dealing with Senate Bill 308, the lawful carry bill, and Senate Bill 529. I believe those two are most likely going to see some action in the House, but on the Senate side, very little controversial measures. Most of the bills, as we went through the calendar, were passed out of the House, 150 to 2 or something along those lines. So the budget seems to be coming along well. The work with between the two appropriations chairmen on ironing out the minor difference we have seems to be going well, and we expect the budget, we may be able to even have an agreement later today. So if that were to happen, it would be wonderful. With that, I don't have anything else to say, but I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Are there one or two bills that stick out out of the 51?
Not on our side. There's nothing that sticks out as anything controversial. You know, one good bill that has received almost no attention is a bill allowing cities and counties to offer Freeport on all inventories. And from an economic development standpoint, that's really an important measure. We would at some point like to get away from any type of inventory property tax altogether, but giving every local government the opportunity to do that makes the whole state far more competitive. That's one area where Georgia is really kind of behind the curve, and particularly trying to attract large warehousing industries because they're not going to set up shop here with all this inventory and get taxed on it. Another bill I think that may have a little controversy on the floor is there's a measure dealing with apportioning a portion of the local option sales tax to the arts. I think most people are in favor of that. It would be a local decision by local voters, but there are some who may question why we would apportion any portion of it to something other than a capital project. So other than that, if you guys know something controversial, I'll try to answer it.
You think the Knight O'Neill sales tax bill will go through?
Which one is that?
HB 335.
That's the one dealing with the arts. Yeah, I believe that'll pass.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that. What's the status on the one that would restructure the calculating local sales tax and let the revenue department?
Oh,
that up to it's like 995 or something.
Yeah, remember the one that's been such a big stink over whether millions is falling through the cracks or not?
yeah, that's a great bill, and I apologize for not mentioning that.
That's also Knight
O'Neill.
O'Neill, yes. As you know, we've had some struggles with communications between local governments and the Department of Revenue on is sales tax being properly collected? How much sales tax is being properly collected? How do we know it's being properly remitted to the local government that generated that sales tax? And a pilot project was done by the Department of Revenue dealing with 5 cities and 5 counties and helping to share that information. And this bill is kind of the result of that pilot project. The project went very well. The local governments really like it. The Department of Revenue likes it, and it's really just helping to share that information so that we know if a business is located in a particular county and they have an occupational license or they have a business license and they're doing business, then they need to be on record with the Department of Revenue and vice versa, so that if the Department of Revenue has a business that is remitting sales tax to the state, the local government needs to know that that company has a business license and is generating revenue there locally. So it's a very good bill.
You know where it stands at the moment?
It's on the Senate floor today. I can't imagine anyone would be against it.
We're hearing that the House is talking about possibly having day 40 on Monday.
No. There's few things I don't want to say an expert. There's few things I'm in the know on, and the calendar is one of them. And if that's their intention, they have not said anything to me about it. And Monday's my birthday. No way can we be here on my birthday.
We all just met with Jerry Keene, and he had mentioned the fact that there was maybe some stalling on the budget, and it would push to sunny night on Monday.
I have not heard that, but you know, surely we can. Whatever small differences are left, we can work those out prior to Thursday. We do.
April Fools, we did that.
Yeah, I was going to say Monday.
Sorry.
Monday morning we have a caucus meeting, and then I'm on an airplane Monday afternoon, so you know, finish
Now,
without
on
me.
a serious note, the teacher pay, the teacher evaluation tied to test scores, they're controversial. Do you think the Senate views, how would it go over in the Senate?
You know, I began receiving emails on that last week, and I went and looked at the legislation, and I just don't understand what Page is talking about. There's already in state law a requirement to do evaluations. Those evaluations are done kind of in an ad hoc process at the local level, and we may have 180 different systems doing 180 different types of evaluations. This just simply says that the State Board of Education needs to come up with a uniform process of evaluations that would be good across the state. There is absolutely no mention of pay, no tie to pay. It's just standardizing that process. And if I were a teacher, and of course as a parent of students, I want to know that whatever system's evaluating a student in Cobb County is the same type of system that's evaluating, a teacher in Cobb County, the same type of system that's working in Cherokee or any other county. So,
Well, I don't think teachers have a problem with the process, that they're being
Right.
evaluated. I think their thing is, we weren't included in the decision. I mean, that seems to be their big argument.
and I don't disagree. I mean, if we have a statewide evaluation process, and this doesn't say what it will be, then the teachers really ought to be the ones who determine what goes into that process. I've said that from day one on this whole issue of pay for performance. The only way to make this work is for the teachers themselves to devise the system that judges other teachers. I mean, my mom was a teacher, and I remember her telling me all the time, look, we teachers know who the good teachers are and who the bad teachers are. And let us determine, that the person who gets there at 6 a.m. and stays till 6 p.m. ought to get paid more than the person who shows up for the opening bell and leaves the moment the buses pull off the lot. So, yeah, we need to have the teachers invested in this, and they need to play perhaps the most important role in determining what this process is. So I completely agree with you.